Hey y'all, so I'm gonna show you how I made this spooky Halloween Hello Kitty set that's been kind of viral recently. At first, I couldn't tell if it was supposed to be like a zombie Hello Kitty or Frankenstein, but since there's stitches, obviously I think it's more Frankenstein. And here's the original inspo picture that I saw. Before, like in the original, it's pink and like that green color, but the bows that I had weren't pink, they were this like pearly white, and so I wanted to match that instead of paint over the bow. And so I just used one of my like pearly iridescent whites to match the bow, like they matched the pink with their bow. But anyways, you'll see all of that later. Right now I'm just cutting the nails to length. I am using a size long. If you don't know who I am already, I sell these press-on nails, so all of the links that I use are what I offer to my clients. And so I just use one of my sizing kits that I have for just myself, and I use that as a reference for anytime I size nails. Here I am filing the edges because whenever I cut the nails with my little nail cutter, that doesn't mean the edges are gonna be crispy, unfortunately. I don't know if it's like how sharp my nail cutter is. I don't know if everybody experiences this, but that's what happens with me. So I do have to file the edges to make them crisp again. So once I finished filing and wiping away all of the nail dandruff, I put them on my nail stand. I get this question a lot, so let me beat y'all to it. What I use to stick my nails onto the stand is the glue tabs that you use to put your nails on your fingers. Now it's time for me to add all of my base coats. So the pinky and the ring finger, I just made a blank nude color that you see here, and the rest of them I did French tips. If you're one of those people that struggle with doing French tips, I recommend trying the way I do it. I haven't seen anybody else do it the same way as me, and you're really just letting the brush do most of the work. I know some people really like to use those fine line art brushes, but that leaves room for error, like a lot of room. And when you use a big brush like this, like it takes one stroke and it's already finished, as you can see right here. So if you've tried everything, I'd try this next. And honestly, the way I started doing this, starting out, you know those little like mini liner brushes that they give you at like Sephora that are just like little freebies that hang off like the sides of the little shelves? That is what I was using in the beginning when I started out. I just had one of those because I didn't have enough money. Like I was like 15. All I had for money was like the money that I saved up from like my birthdays. So I was just using stuff like that, and I didn't have the materials. So one day I was like running really low on one of my favorite base polishes, and I was like, you know what if I just use the polish, like the brush that is already in the polish container. One, it'll save time from like cleaning the little ghetto nail art brush that I was using from Sephora, and two, it was easier for me to like get the polish onto the nail since, like I said, it was running low and it was already on that brush. So having to take the mini nail brush and scrape it off of the original brush, like it was just too much, and I could get more polish out of it if I just used the original brush that the polish came with. And so ever since that, I haven't stopped doing it that way, and it's been really helpful. Such a time saver. You see this nail that I'm working on right now? I honestly hate designs like this because I feel like I always want to like mess with the angle that the lines are going, and I'm just never like completely happy with it. But I think this one I was okay with. Like my line work wasn't that bad. It took like 2 or 3 coats for me to get the green that I wanted, but once I got that, I was happy with it. Here's that pearly iridescent polish that I was talking about. I forget what brand this is. I think it's like Moravin, something like that. When did I get this? I think I must have got it from Amazon. I can't remember if it was gifted to me or I think I bought it myself. Yeah, I definitely bought it myself. But I just put this all over where I had white going on so it can match the bow. Now it is time for the Hello Kitty face. I think I have a more in-depth tutorial on this, a video that I've made before on YouTube, so if you want to check that out you can, but it's pretty simple. The only trick about doing Hello Kitty is that her proportions are like very specific. Like even with this nail, I don't think I got her proportions right, but it's fine. Like when you're working with different lengths, you have to like fill out the nail but enough so that it still looks like Hello Kitty and not just like some random cat, you know. But I like how this turned out, even if it's like Walmart Hello Kitty. And don't forget guys, this is a spooky set, so I had to add like the little stitch to actually make it like Hello Kitty. It wasn't just a green cat. I also did the same stitching on the thumb and on the pinky where it was like the white and green colors. Whenever I do stitches like this, I can never tell if I want to go the thick line route or the really thin route, because I think they both look so good, but like in their own different ways. Like it's, when you go thicker it's like more cartoony, and when you go thinner, I don't know, like I still don't know, but I think I went the right route with this specific set. Now it's time to work on the glam ring finger. So I just made like a French tip design but in glue, and I put it next to the other nails to make sure it was like the right length so it was matching, and like the French tip didn't start all the way at the bottom or something and look weird. But I just covered all of the places where I wanted the gems to go, obviously, with my rhinestone glue. In the inspo picture, they used flowers, rhinestones, I want to say some of those like silver like ball-shaped charms, one of the more like detailed charms or gems like the big one that I just placed on, different sizes, all of that. So I kind of just did whatever I had that was similar. I wish I had gems that were closer to the green that I painted on the nails, but I didn't, so I opted for like these. They're like silver gems, but they also have like reflections of like blue and green, like just different colors in them depending on the lighting. If you're a perfectionist, this would probably take you the longest, because it took me the longest. I don't know why. Like you would assume that like gem placing would be the fastest thing to do on a nail, but it takes so long because like I want everything to fit perfectly and like look nice, and since they're all different sizes, like you have to move it around a lot and see what works best, so it just takes a lot of time. Like I think this one nail took me like 10 minutes by itself, which is kind of crazy. This is the finished product. I really love how it came out. I was worried I would be sick of it by the end of this because I've stared at this inspo picture for like 30 years. But I hope you guys enjoyed watching and see you next time.